Everybody, my name is Domenic from SA Capital, and today we're going to be taking a look at Ethereum USDT. The past few weeks have been very slow. Bitcoin brought down the entire market as Ethereum had an amazing month in May. It went from nearly $2,000 to nearly $4,500 to set an all-time high, rising almost 55% in that month. But unfortunately, Bitcoin lost steam and it dropped from an all-time high of 65,000 to a low of 30,000, roughly a 50% drop. Ethereum, we have seen roughly a 60% drop perfectly from all-time high, but since then it's been very slow. And we've been hearing all these different narratives, of Ethereum's going to be at 10K by the end of the year. We're in a bear market. We need to watch out. All these different things are coming out, and it's trying to confuse everybody. And what we need to do is just keep our eyes on the current price action of Ethereum, and we really don't have to worry about what's going to happen 6 months down the line. As each week and each day goes by, we got to continue to analyze and see what the charts present us, and then from there we create our next prediction in a sense. So right now, I've already drawn the support and resistance zones. These are the important ones we need to be looking at right now. But if we zoom in a little bit more, we can see that the price has created lower highs, and it also has created higher lows. So the price is consolidating together towards a apex and a point. So we'll get out our trend line tool right here, and we could actually draw a near perfect pennant right here. Since the price has dropped from a high and then created the pennant, this is considered a bearish pennant. If the price had pumped and then created the pennant, that'd be considered a bullish pennant. But right now this is considered a bearish pennant. It doesn't mean it always drops down, but just from a textbook standpoint, this is a bearish pattern right now. But in my opinion, I think we may see a break to the upside on this pattern right now. As we can see, this is a 4-hour chart, and we have two MAs right now. These MAs are acting as resistance. We have the 100 MA and we have the 50 MA right here. The price is currently over the 50 MA, but it still needs to get over the 100 MA. It hasn't been over the 100 MA since mid-May, and that's roughly 2 weeks since then. So once we see a break above the 100 MA on the 4-hour, I believe Ethereum is going to make a run to potentially 3,200, confirm potentially 3,500. Breaking over this MA would also get us out of our pattern, and it would break bullish on the bearish pennant, which is very reasonable, and I've seen it happen many times. So what we're looking for is a break and a hold over 2750. So 2750, we need to break that mark. We need to hold candles over it. And then at that point, we would be free from a trend line standpoint, from a moving average standpoint, for us to potentially have a rebound of nearly 20% to almost 30%. Near guaranteed, as long as we can clear this mark right here and trade above it for some time, we will see that upwards push. But on the bearish side, if Ethereum wants to consolidate here and it drops below, and then we're trading under this $2,500 mark for some time, I would say we would likely see a sweep to potentially 2,000, potentially even a $1,600 Ethereum. But I am not leaning towards that. We just have to understand that it is a possibility at this point. But luckily, it is coming time for the price to create a trend. So we have roughly about, I'd give it 3 days max until we see a larger break up on Ethereum or break down on Ethereum. Then at that point, I expect it to set that trend for some time and for it to trend in that way or potentially trend in this way. But like I said, I am leaning towards this scenario right here. And the reason being is because if we scroll out, put it on the daily chart for it to be a little cleaner, we could actually draw a trend line right here. And this trend line is held perfectly. As we can see, we created this trend line in January of 2021, so almost 6 months ago, and it has been trending above this trend line. And as we can see, when we drop down, we held this. So in my opinion, after such a large drop, we need to at least have a revival to here and then potentially have a drop below. But at that point, we will make the decision on what's going to happen right here if we get up there. But with Ethereum having such an amazing last 8 months, this 60% pullback was well needed, but I don't think it's the end completely. I think we're at least going to see $3,000, $3,500 first. But that's basically what I'm seeing on the Ethereum chart. But before we wrap it up, I'm just going to take a quick look at the indicators in the daily time frame. As we can see right here, this MACD is actually very, very bullish. It's signaling very bullish as we had our lowest drop on the MACD and on the histogram in history. This means that the price reset heavily, and in my opinion, we're going to be seeing a cross, the blue cross over the orange, and at that point, that is bullish. And as we can see right here, this has been upticking right here, and very soon we're going to be seeing green ticks like that, and that is bullish, especially on the day time frame. So that's something for us to keep our eyes on. But as for the RSI as well, this right here is not giving us much data, but as we can see, we have held some support about the 30 range. If the price breaks lower, then we could potentially see a sweep of oversold territory on here. But like I said, I am leaning more towards a revival here than at this point. Then we could see what will happen on the Ethereum chart. So basically, that is what I'm seeing on Ethereum. Just as a quick recap, in the 4-hour chart, we need to see a break of 2750 and for it to hold, and that will likely see a 15 to 20 to 25% revival upwards. And then if we see a break of 2500 and we fail to get above, we'll likely see a 10 to 20% drop. So I hope all you guys enjoyed that. We'll be back at it next week with another Ethereum analysis, but I hope all of you guys have a great night. Thanks for